Hello friend, welcome back to my kitchen. My name is Becky if you're new, and normally we do a bunch of cooking projects. Well, this week I'm gonna be cooking all week with my mom, and last week I did all my meal prep that I need for this week for my family. So I figured today, since I have the day and we're not cooking other than sourdough, I'll talk more about that in a second, is we're gonna do some deep cleaning in this kitchen. Last time we did some deep cleaning and organizing in this kitchen, we organized this drawer and another drawer over there, and those drawers are functioning very well for me. And my baking drawers right here are not functioning very well for me. So what it's telling me is that if I can find a system that works, I can keep things organized. I think it's been like 6 months, 5 months since we did this, and it is staying organized. So my system in these drawers where I keep all my baking stuff, this is so embarrassing, but this is the reality of what it's turned into, is kind of a catch-all, and it's not fully working for me. So I have some ideas that I want to try to do something a little bit different to see if we can create some functionality in these drawers. I love these drawers, and I love keeping my baked goods in them, but the system of organization that I have in there is not working. And hopefully today with the new system I put in place, it will be working. And over the weekend, my sister-in-law gave me some of her active sourdough starter, and I made a loaf of bread with sourdough. I will bring you along the whole sourdough thing, but we kind of did it as a family, making this first loaf. And today's the day we're gonna bake it. So you and I are gonna figure out whether this sourdough loaf turned out or not, and then we will go on the sourdough journey together. So I'm gonna preheat my oven to 425 and my Dutch oven to 425. Not only do I wanna get those 4 drawers organized today, but I wanna get this oven deep cleaned, that oven deep cleaned, and this cabinet under my sink deep cleaned. And if we get to it, I wanna get the inside of my refrigerator deep cleaned because there's not that much stuff in it for me right now, and I'm not doing a bunch of cooking because I already meal prepped a ton of stuff. So this is the perfect time to deep clean it if I can. So here's the loaf of sourdough that I made. And what I'm worried about is that, is this gonna be able to come out of this Banneton? I don't know. So while my oven's preheating, I'm gonna try to get this out of here. And I want this to be baking while we do some cleaning projects. And then Josh and I, once it cools, are gonna do a taste test. I've been texting my sister-in-law every step of the way with this sourdough because she's pretty good at making sourdough. And she just gave me 40 grams of active starter and then gave me a couple of instructions, and I've just kind of run with it. I have tried making sourdough 3 times, I think, making my own starter, buying a starter and reactivating it, and I've never got it to do anything. And what I'm thinking the key for me is, because this is definitely the farthest I've ever gotten with sourdough, is to be gifted an active starter that I could feed and make a loaf the next day. I like instant gratification, and the 2 weeks it takes for me to start my own starter or reconstitute one, I would lose interest. And I actually got something that somewhat looks like dough here. So I'm gonna try to put this on this floured piece of parchment. I hope I floured this enough. This is the first time I've ever floured a Banneton. Okay, it's pretty flat. I might not have proofed it long enough, but I'm gonna score it here. Let's see, my knife is in here somewhere. This area is a disaster. I need to put a new blade on this knife. This might be a complete flop. So while I'm waiting for my oven to preheat, I'm gonna go ahead and get this sourdough loaf in this Banneton and just let it sit in here while we start the cleaning process of these drawers. So you have now seen the before of these drawers. Let's see if we can get a nice after. And most of my containers that I keep my flour and stuff in are close to being empty. So instead of just filling them up right now, what I want to do is actually run all of these through the dishwasher and get them nice and clean, because it's been a while since I have done that before I fill them back up again. And then I got some new containers that I want to organize, like my baking powder, baking soda, and things like that in here. Oh gosh, my friend. Okay, I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to get all of these to fit in my dishwasher. But I'm just gonna pull out some bowls because this flour is still perfectly good. Oats, these are my favorite containers. I can link them down below. I've had them for years. Sugar. It always is gonna look worse before it looks better whenever you're doing an organizing or cleaning project. I only had a couple cups of whole wheat flour in here. I smell it, it smells like it's gone rancid. So I went ahead and I'm gonna dump that because I have a way to fresh mill flour. So I'm going to use this container for something else. And then this container though has bread flour in it. This had white all-purpose flour. I need to make sure that I am able to label these so that I know the difference between bread flour and all-purpose. I'm gonna put my bread flour in this stock pot. And now I have a ton of empty containers. I can bring these over to the dishwasher and we're gonna get these in the dishwasher. And hopefully I can get all, oh, I don't think I'm gonna be able to get all these to fit in my dishwasher. I unloaded my dishwasher this morning already, but I've already put dishes into it. So let's see. I wanted to start with this because I can do other cleaning projects while this runs. I'm gonna run my dishwasher just on a quick cycle, like a 30-minute or 1 hour cycle. So I might have to take some of these dishes out. I think I'm going to. I don't have to make dinner tonight because I prepped all of our dinner for this week last week. So that's why I figured this would be a great time to get going on this project. And I've got one more that I almost forgot about. My powdered sugar. It's always fun to see a good before and after, and that's what I'm hoping for in these drawers. Okay, I grabbed out Josh's vacuum. We each have our own vacuum because mine, I just got myself one not even that long ago, and it no longer is working. So I actually need to take it to Costco and return it because I'm very sad my vacuum that I bought stopped working after a couple months. Okay, so I'm gonna get this going on a speed cycle. We'll do extra dry so that hopefully it dries. It's gonna be 1 hour and 34 minutes, which is gonna give us plenty of time to get other projects done while we wait for these to wash completely. This is what it's looking like now. You can see just things have spilled in there that need to be cleaned. And we've cleaned these out together before, but I've never changed the system. And so I can't have the same system. I need to change it. Otherwise, we're just gonna end up with the same result. So I mean, this is really bad. And what I think I'm gonna do now is just empty everything out of these and get it all on the counter. But I almost forgot the lids. I need to make sure I wash the lids too. All right, the dishwasher is going with the lids. I grabbed my garbage can because I'm sure that there's gonna be things that need to go directly into the garbage. Just gonna start. Oh, boys, no, 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 out, 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 out. Go, 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 go. Just spilled chocolate chips on the floor and I don't want them getting them. Get these in here. So garbage. Okay, so things like this. I have 4 or 3 things of corn syrup in here, which I certainly don't need. I have gelatin here, and then I know, yes, got a big thing of gelatin here. So we're also going to compact everything. This is just how life goes sometimes. You know, we only have so much time, and it's always about prioritizing. Oh no, I do have another corn syrup in here, so that's 4 corn syrups. Prioritizing like what's the most important thing And these drawers being organized up until this point was not the most important thing. And right now, I have time, I can prioritize it, and it is now an important thing. I don't know if that makes sense, but, and I feel like, I don't know about you, but I can never have my entire life organized at one time. Different parts of my life are organized at different times, and it's just a matter of going around and organizing as I can. But I will say that once I get a system in place that works, then it stays better organized, like those couple drawers that we organized last time. I haven't had to do a deep clean or deep organize on them since then because I have a system in place that works for me. Okay, so some of these things I rarely use, maybe once a year at the holidays, which those are coming up, so that I know I could maybe not store them in this really high, pristine real estate in my kitchen. I could put them in my pantry and just pull them out when I need them and just keep the things that I use on a daily basis in these drawers and keep them more organized. See, like my parchment papers don't need to be in here because I keep my parchment paper somewhere else. Goes over there. Skewers. Things like this. This is my, these are my biscuit cutters, cookie cutters, and every time I need them, it's a treasure hunt because I haven't just had the time to organize them and put them in one spot. Okay, I'm pretty sure the date on this cake flour is gonna be out of date because I can't remember the last time I bought this. It's July 28th, 2024, which actually is not that bad, but I'm gonna go ahead and throw the flour and bag away and recycle this box. Okay. Okay, I heard my oven preheat, so I'm gonna go ahead and get our sourdough in the oven. Oh, I think I want to put some ice cubes in there. So I like to put ice cubes between the parchment paper and the dough. There we go. I'll set a timer for 30 minutes and then we'll reevaluate that in 30 minutes. But pretty relatively quickly, we're able to empty these drawers. I'm gonna get the garlic out of here and then we can go ahead and clean these drawers. Friend, it's so bad. But it's the reality of life sometimes, and I'm ready to get it cleaned up. I'm pretty sure this is baking powder that spilled one day when we were in the kitchen together, and I didn't have time to deal with it, and so today is the day, oh, there's a razor blade, to deal with it. All right, so I got the top two drawers cleaned out. I actually took a toothpick and got in the corners. This is just the liner that's coming off the bottom of the drawer. Now I'm gonna tackle these two drawers. The bottom two drawers are now cleaned out, and I'm gonna go ahead and get the kind of crevices on these front drawers cleaned out. So what I like to do, it's gross, is take a toothpick and run it along here, because I do so much baking right here in front of these drawers. This kind of gets grody right here. So the best way to get it is with a little toothpick. Get that clean. I'm gonna go through a couple toothpicks probably here. I'm gonna get this bottom one down here. One benefit of doing all that meal prep last week is I really don't have to think about food this week. well, that's not true. I'm gonna be with my mom. You're probably enjoying this after the Thanksgiving because I want you to be able to see all the Thanksgiving stuff. But this cleaning is happening before I actually go do all the Thanksgiving prep with my mom. But the nice thing about that is my mom's the one doing all the grocery list planning and all the menu planning, and I'm mostly just showing up and there to help. So I can kind of take this time when I would normally, if I was the one really throwing the party or hosting the party, I would be the one planning all the recipes and things, but I'm not. So I can take this time to love on my kitchen a little bit. I think I'm gonna go ahead and clean these door handles too. Now these drawers are nice and clean and we've got a good baseline. So what I wanna start doing is actually repackaging some of those goodies into some containers I got that I think are actually gonna stack well in here. The problem with the mason jars that I've been using is they don't stack well in here and they kind of tip over. And so that's part of my problem, I feel like, is that nothing stacks well. I'm gonna go wash my hands and we're gonna start repackaging some goodies. So here's what they're looking like. So again, the inside of my drawers have some scuffs on them, but that's the actual drawers themselves. But everything is clean. So now we're gonna tackle all of this. I just grabbed a tub, an extra tub that I had, and I'm going to go ahead and put the items in here that I'm gonna bring downstairs. I'm just gonna wipe this off too, because I know I don't need 4 of one thing up here. So let's go ahead and put the corn syrups in here, except for one. I found a place where I can get organic corn syrup. I don't use a lot of corn syrup, even though I have 4 containers, except for usually Christmas candies and things. And Azure carries an organic one, which I thought is kind of cool. So we're gonna use that this coming baking season. And I got this one here. I'm gonna do some condensing too so that I can get rid of some bottles because I don't need 2 partially opened ones. Get this in here. Throw that away. Whoop! Now I'm gonna have to go wash this because I just spilled it all over the side. I'm gonna set this over here while I continue to find things to put in there. But what I'm thinking to put a bunch of these goodies in that I cook with on a daily basis is right now everything is in a different size container. Nothing stacks well. These do not stack well. Mason jars, they fall over and I open and close these drawers all the time. So what I want to do, move all this over here, is repackage them into these containers. These are deli containers and I'm falling in love with them because they stack so beautifully. And I can link these down below. They're very affordable, and what I'm thinking is they will be a good way to repackage these and get these to fit in these drawers. Now, if this doesn't work, I have the right to change it, but this is what I'm thinking. So I'm going to, oh, and I need to go ask Josh for a label maker because he does have a label maker and I do want to label everything so I know what they are. Josh is going to bring it to me when he has a second to go grab it. So I'm gonna just start repackaging these items and just put the container on top of it so that we know what it is. First off, this is baking soda. And when you watch professional chefs, I am no professional, they use these deli containers a lot when they're doing their mise en place. And that's what gave me this idea, is that if they're using it and keeping themselves really organized, then why can't I use it to keep myself really organized? That's what I'm thinking, at least. Okay, first one done. I'm just gonna set that on there so when I have my label maker, I can label it. Next, we're gonna do baking powder. Okay, baking powder. I wonder if I could take one of these deli containers and just put some of these small random items in here, like my almond extract, peppermint extract. Probably don't need 2 extracts in there. My things that I don't use very often, my coloring, colors. So there's one little thing there. Yeast. And this is active dry. Espresso powder. All right, this counter was kind of driving me nuts. So what I think I'm gonna do is actually take the second to just clean one little spot here. So this is where I'll repackage. So I have 3 different sizes of these deli containers. This first size right here is 8 ounces. Let me go wash my hands real quick. This next size is 12 ounces. So, and then this is a quart. So we've got 3 sizes here. So I think I can get my craisins in one of these quart size. I've got cocoa powder here. This is a black cocoa that you would use to make like Oreos or something like that. And I have enough, I think I should probably use one of these big ones. And then I don't have a small container for regular cocoa in one of these drawers, and I use it all the time. So I actually want to take my large 1 gallon and get a quart of cocoa in my drawer so that I can use this easilier. I don't think that's a word, but that's what I said. And I like these containers because they have a large lid, so I'll be able to get like a half a cup of measuring spoon in here, which I like that idea. So here you can really see the color difference between this cocoa powder and this cocoa powder. I will label these, but I do know what they are just looking at them. I'm trying to get better about labeling things so everyone in my house knows what each item is. Josh just came in here and he said, it looks like you're having fun having a big baking day. And I said, no, we're just cleaning. But sometimes can be just as satisfying as a big baking day. So that was the timer for our sourdough. So I guess we are technically baking because we're making sourdough. Josh is getting me the label maker. Do you want to?
I knew you weren't baking.
He said he knew I wasn't baking. Do you want to help me label these things?
Sure.
Josh said he's willing to help me label everything. So everything either has what it is on top of it or sitting on it. And we need to go ahead and take the lid off of our sourdough. And this is where we're gonna be able to see how well it's sprung up. And here you're gonna see, this is why I wanna clean my oven today. We made croissants together and I spilled them on here and it smells like sourdough. Oh my goodness, it doesn't look half bad. Okay, we're gonna bake it for another 15, 20 minutes. Can you smell the sourdough in here, Josh?
Yeah.
I actually have a pretty good system here that you'll be able to just jump in. Josh is here and he said, tell me what to do. You'll be able to just grab a container. It's either sitting on what it is or it's on top of what it is. And what I would love is if you could put on the lid, I mean, this says Thompson raisins. It could just say raisins. It doesn't have to say. So if you would be willing to put it on the lid and the side, that would be fantastic.
I don't know if I have enough. That'll take twice as much.
So why don't you start with just on the side, not the lid, and then if we have enough, we'll revisit it and start putting them on the lids. Does that work?
Sure.
Okay, so here you go. So can you see how there's containers all around here? Do you want me to bring them to you?
Yeah, this thing is charged for 10 minutes apparently.
Okay, so what I'll do is I'll just hand you these and I'll bring them over there for you. And that'll give me space over here to keep working. So the label maker that Josh has needs to charge for at least 15 minutes. And so he's gonna charge that. This one doesn't have a label, but that's cocoa powder.
Okay. I don't have more room here, so.
Okay, I'll just stick them right here. Okay. What kind of jelly or what do you want to taste the sourdough with? Maybe just some butter?
Maybe plain.
Plain? Okay.
And then probably some jelly too.
I know, I'm throwing this on the floor. This might not look like much, but we are definitely making progress. And I need to clear this counter because Josh is gonna label all those things for me. I wanna make a little spot over here because I think I'm done repackaging things. I'm gonna leave these out in case I need to repackage something else. I'll just stick them over here. But I'm trying to get the, what are these? Like the dishes in the sink, the ones that I'm not gonna use, in the sink. Stick these over here, make some space over here so that I can actually do the dishwasher next. I don't want to start putting anything back into these drawers until I have kind of the anchor points, which are going to be like my flour and my oats. And I can't put those back in here until those are done in the dishwasher. So I'm just kind of moving everything back here. And then it'll be really satisfying once everything is labeled that we can start throwing things back in these drawers, but I can't quite do that yet. I'm the same way when I clean out my refrigerator. I kind of like to empty the refrigerator, clean everything, and then I can wipe everything down and start putting things back into the refrigerator. Oh, here's an onion. I keep onions and garlic in this front section, if you saw that. So I can put that onion away, because that doesn't matter where the flour and things go. Quick wipe down of the counter. It smells incredible in here. The timer just went off for the sourdough, and I need to take its temperature, but it's looking really beautiful. I thought it was gonna be really, really flat. I wanted about 205 degrees Fahrenheit. Oh, 210, okay, it's done. I had a feeling that if I could get an active sourdough starter from someone and be able to make a loaf of bread right away, that's what would give me the motivation and the excitement to keep going with sourdough versus having to spend basically a week or two starting a sourdough or reconstituting a sourdough, because I'd usually lose interest in that amount of time. But I'd say for my first attempt, I'm pretty happy with that. We will have to, it's hot. I'm gonna put this on my stove here, let it cool. We'll have to give it a taste test, cut into it, see what it looks like before we can do the final judgment on it. But for my first attempt, I'm pretty happy with that. I would normally like to kind of finish this project before moving on to the refrigerator, but because I am enlisting the help of someone, I don't really want to just wait until that's done. So we're going to tackle this refrigerator. The nice thing is it's not crazy crowded. Sometimes when we are doing big projects together, this refrigerator gets jam-packed. It is just time for everything to get a good deep clean, because I haven't honestly done that in a while. So this is the leftover baked tetrazzini that we made together. Tonight we are gonna have the chicken enchiladas. We'll have this for lunch today, which will be nice, so I don't even have to think about lunch. There's some leftover potatoes from Friendsgiving. Those I will need to find something to do with. A random big thing of butter, cheese. And basically I just want to empty this. Oh, I didn't even realize we had Greek yogurt. Awesome. This is why it's good to do a clean out every once in a while. It's not even close to date. Josh may have bought that, but I'm glad we have that as a breakfast option. This egg carton is completely empty, so it doesn't need to take up space in the refrigerator. This egg carton only has one egg in it. All right, so we're gonna find more room in here. We have a pomegranate I bought for a recipe that I didn't end up using it, so I should put that on the list of something to eat for a breakfast or something. Here is the sourdough starter that my sister-in-law gave me. And I'm just gonna keep my sourdough starter in the fridge and feed it, from what I understand, like the night before I want to cook with it, I think. A couple tortillas that need to be used up that we made together. Whipped cream and caramel from a fun recipe. Some vanilla simple syrup, sour cream, cowboy candy, some cherries. These are homemade maraschino cherries for cocktail. Let me see if I can open this. I've been letting these marinate with the almond extract for a bit. Oh, those smell good. We home can these, and then when I open the jar, it's in a heavy simple syrup. When I open the jar, I put a little bit of almond extract. I've been letting that sit and infuse. This needs to go into the dishwasher. It's some Big Mac sauce I made too long ago. We have some homemade relish. Lots of beautiful cheeses. This actually is not that bad considering. I feel like normally when I finally get around to cleaning the refrigerator, it's really, really bad, but this, quite honestly, is not that bad. So the refrigerator is now empty, other than the drawers, but I'm gonna get this done first. A lot of times if this is really bad, I will take all of the drawers out and wash them in the sink, but I think I can just get them clean with some cleaner. I don't think I'm gonna need to scrub them as much as sometimes I need to when I do this. This drawer is broken, so that just stays open like that. That's why I don't have a drawer there, but I just use it as a shelf. I'm gonna start on the top and work my way down. I'm gonna get the walls, all the shelves, the back. I got everything scrubbed and clean, so I'm gonna go ahead and start putting some things back into the refrigerator. I still have these, but I figured I was gonna get this part done first. Main part of the refrigerator done here. And I can show you kind of what I've got done, and then we're gonna clean out these doors. So down here, I've got some cheese, sour cream, feta cheese, that's Parmesan cheese. We've got our produce drawer with a pomegranate, some lemons. This is a ton of different types of cheese. And then we've got kind of our pickled type things, half and half for coffee, pickled onions, pickles, our maraschino cherries, some butter, sourdough starter. We've got lard, bacon grease, our yogurt. This is some whipped cream, vanilla simple syrup, caramel, honey mustard, cranberry sauce, apple butter, cowboy candy, corn relish, mayo, hot sauce, and then our leftovers are chicken tetrazzini, egg, and some mashed potatoes that we need to use up. And then over here's where I keep butter. I found a deal. Kroger was having or QFC actually. It's like $2.30 for a pound of butter. So with Christmas baking coming up, I went ahead and bought a couple of those, a thing of cream cheese, another thing of cream cheese, and now this looks really nice. I love having a clean refrigerator. So now what I'm gonna do is empty these, and then I've got a couple, like this is a bottle of champagne that's been open for weeks that just needs to find its way into the recycle. Normally when I open a bottle of wine, we can never go through it, so I just throw it in here, and then I use it for cooking, but a bottle of champagne, I think it's gonna find its way into the recycle. Empty all this out. Oh, see, got a little thing of pickled peppers. I'm kind of putting all my homemade pickly type things, hot sauce and jams up there. I don't have very much soy sauce left. This really needs a good scrubbing because this is our elderberry oxmel, and that needs to be cleaned. Josh is here, he's starting to label things, which is fantastic. And while I was cleaning out the refrigerator, the dishwasher is done. So these have been wiped off. They're still not completely dry. So we wiped them off so that they would be able to just air dry, and then we can start filling all of our goodies back into our containers. But I want them to be completely dry before I put, things like flour and oats and stuff in them. These I've had since Josh and I first got married. So I bought these 10 years ago, almost, probably 9 years ago. We'll be married 10 years in February. And then I bought a couple more last year. So I originally had 4, and now I think I have 6 or 7 of those, and I love the shape of those. time to get these clean. I think I'm just gonna bring these to the sink, and I'm gonna bring these to the sink and scrub them in the sink because they need a little bit more elbow grease. How's it going with the labeling?
I don't know if they're sticking well.
Oh, really? Like you think they're gonna come off?
Yeah, they're coming off. I don't think a plastic on plastic is.
Oh, really? Shoot. Josh is saying that he doesn't think the labels are, oh.
I think this material is like too soft or something.
So, okay. Well, it'll have to do for now, and then maybe we'll have to get some different labels or something. Or we could put a piece of plastic tape over the top of it. Clear plastic tape. He's saying that the labels, the plastic on plastic is not sticking, but that does look nice, doesn't it? I like the look of that container with the label. I got these washed up. So the problem is I have 3 of these, but I can't, I kind of lose one because of things that are really tall. Oh, that needs to be cleaned. Okay, so I usually put dairy here, which I've learned recently that it's best to put dairy inside your fridge because it is colder inside your fridge, but that's just where I put it. So that's where it goes. Josh is laughing at me. Josh got this figured out so that I can have 3 drawers in here, and that works really well. I like to just keep dairy up here because then it's just one thing and we get to that every day. Here are kind of like condiments and syrups and stuff like that. Worcestershire soy sauce, those types of things. And now I'm gonna close this, and we got the refrigerator done. So Josh is almost done labeling. So I think what I'm gonna do while he's finishing labeling up, because I still want my containers to continue to dry out, I'm gonna go ahead and clean this oven and get this clean. Okay. It might be easier to clean it actually because it's kind of still warm. Let me show you the state we're looking at right now with it. We have croissant dough that got baked onto this oven. I'm going to go ahead and just give it a little scrub first with some water. See how far I can get with that. Might be able to get most of it off actually with just water and a scrubber. I was able to get it 90% done with just water and a scrubber, but I think the last little bit needs a little extra help. I have some barkeeper's friend. I think this is just what it needs to get the final bit off here. All right, that's done. Okay, I'm gonna get this oven cleaned out. We got that oven all clean and it looks great. All right, this oven is now done and looks fantastic. I love a good razor blade to clean a glass surface like that. So both ovens are clean now. And now, Josh, you can see his beautiful stack that he's created. He's got like one more thing, I think, to label. And then I'm gonna start putting things back in the drawers. Here are all the containers labeled up, and I'm really liking the look of it. It's just very uniform and neat and tidy. And now what I'm gonna do is fill these containers back up so that I can actually put all of these goodies into my drawers, and I can show you the after. So it feels good. So we have ovens done, refrigerator done, and now we almost have these 4 drawers done. So I've got my containers here, and I'm gonna restock some of these items because some of them are almost empty. This is oats. You know what I should do? I should fill my containers first and then top it off with this. So things that I go through really, really regularly, like oats, flour, sugar, oils, I do keep in bulk, and I keep them in these buckets with a gamma lid. That's probably as much as I can fill that one. Oh, I guess I can fill it a little more. And I try to keep a bucket up here of the ones I go through really regularly. And then I keep some downstairs, and I always pull from up here first so that I can have a good rotation going. So first bucket done. I'm gonna go ahead and put this away in the drawer that I like to keep my oats in, which is right here. I might rearrange things just a little bit, but we can start filling these up. This one is my bread flour. I'll just clean my counter up really well when I'm done with this. And I keep my bread flour in a separate container or drawer than where I keep my white flour. I keep my white all-purpose flour in this drawer and my bread flour in that drawer. So now I don't have very much all-purpose flour here. My buckets up here need to be filled because my oat one I just emptied basically. This flour one looks like it's basically empty. So I'm gonna have to go downstairs and fill these and then fill the ones up here. That's probably all I'm gonna do for now. Sugar, which is really empty. And I do have a big tub of sugar here, and this one is full. Get this full. I have learned that I don't store things in bulk that I don't go through regularly. So really just the main staples that I don't even have to think about going through regularly is what I keep on hand at all times. Sugar, flour, oats, cocoa powder, chocolate chips. I have a list I can link down below. The things that I keep on hand: rice, beans. I don't keep big bulk items of nuts because those can go bad. And so I keep the nuts in my freezer. So I don't want to keep a ton on hand. There's sugar. I used to keep my brown sugar in a small one, but maybe I should start keeping it in a bigger one. This had the whole wheat flour that went bad. Maybe I'll, yeah, I'm gonna put brown sugar in this. No, that's not what. Can I stack these in here on top of each other? Yes, I can, okay. So what I'm gonna do is do brown sugar in one of these small ones. I used to have to put these on its side, but because I'm rearranging, I'm gonna be able to do this. So I've got brown sugar here. I'm gonna put powdered sugar here. I need to go get some more powdered sugar from downstairs. I keep this tea strainer in it so that I can do that. Now I'm gonna get the lids on these. I just wanna see how they fit in here. Can I shut the drawer? No. Okay, that's fine. Go like that. This is what we're looking at like right now. So we've got all-purpose flour, white sugar, old-fashioned oats, brown sugar, powdered sugar. So this is a little bit different of a configuration than I had before. Now right here is where I want to put the things that I use all the time. So let's put cornstarch on the bottom because I don't use that quite as much as, or yeah, I could put cornstarch, baking powder, baking soda. And I'll just put those right there. And then what I should put on top of that is active yeast. So these are all my leavening agents. And what I think I'm gonna do is scoot those to the back. This is vanilla, peppermint, and almond. Those are the extracts I use pretty regularly. Put those there. I make a lot of my own brown sugar. And so I've got blackstrap molasses I'm gonna put up here. I'm gonna put corn syrup here. I know what I need. I've got this spray, but I also have an avocado spray, which is downstairs, so I'll put that there. And then, you know what, nope. I'm gonna put blackstrap molasses here, organic corn syrup there, and then my spray will fit perfect there. Over here, I will put cinnamon and chocolate chips. Those still fit in their glass containers in here. And then I've got vanilla beans. These are whole fresh vanilla beans. I don't use those a ton, but I like to keep these in their Mylar bags, so I'm just gonna slip those in the back there. I have quick rise yeast. This one is active dry, this is quick. I'm just gonna slide this in the front there, and that is everything that's going in those front drawers. Now down here, in these bottom two is where I'm gonna put the baking stuff that I don't use as often, and kind of like the snacky things that we use in baking, but also are just a snack for my family. So we have craisins and raisins, and I do use those in baking for cookies and muffins and stuff. And then we have nutmeg, espresso powder, clove, cardamom, and allspice. I don't use the top four that often, but I use nutmeg pretty regularly, so I'm gonna put that one on the top. Stick that in there, and I'm actually gonna put that over here. And I can already tell this is working really well. I have some brewer's yeast. I have 2 sister-in-laws that are pregnant, so I'm probably gonna do some postpartum baking for them for that. Demerara sugar, cocoa powder, pumpkin pie spice, I use a lot. Cocoa powders I'm gonna put in here. Demerara sugar I'll put here. Beef gelatin and black cocoa powder. I'm gonna go there. Josh did not have enough labels to label the top and the sides, so we only labeled the sides. But when he orders more tops, labels, I'm gonna label the top too so I can see top down. I went ahead and I put my muffin liners in one of these containers because these were falling all around in these drawers and very unorganized, and they were getting ruined, so that is a good way to store those, I think. Powdered milk is always a good thing to have on hand. Put on the bottom there. Yeah, this is working out great. I have some cream of tartar, which I hardly ever use. I have a sifter, my knives, my cookie cutters. Oh my gosh, my friend, this is working out so well. I was going to put these somewhere else, but I think I can still fit these in this drawer. So I'm thrilled with how this is looking. This is the after. So this is all spices and cocoa powder. And then we've got some steel cut oats, quick oats, masa for making tortillas. I didn't repackage those. I don't know. I just put those bags there for now. And then we have raisins, craisins, some Demerara sugar. This is my bread flour. And we've got our sugars. I'm gonna refill this one. Cinnamon, chips, old-fashioned oats. And this is the one I'm the most excited about. I'm really happy with how this is looking. I might put the black slap molasses down here just because I don't use that often. And you know, maybe I will put the corn syrup down there because I use my extracts, baking powders, yeasts, sprays. I just got the dishwasher unloaded and loaded with all the dishes that we made from emptying jars and cleaning out the refrigerator, so that feels good. So I want to go ahead and get the counters cleaned up. I just created a list of the things that I need to go downstairs to grab to restock, but I am so happy with how these drawers look. They just look so tidy and neat, and I know that I will be more excited to cook and bake with this level of organization. I will show you a good side-by-side so you can see the before, and then here is the after. Again, we need one more spray that I will get when I go downstairs, but this is way, way better. And these little containers didn't cost me very much, and so I'm hoping that this works well. And if it doesn't, I'll let you know. I'll keep you up to date on how this organizational system works if I like these containers as containers to hold my stuff. The organizational system that I purchased to organize these drawers, I'm loving, and so I'm just hoping that I can get that same level of functionality out of these baking drawers. Oh, Josh bought me an early Christmas present. He bought me a meter, so that's a meat thermometer, the one that my mom has, and I didn't have one, and he surprised me last night that he ordered me one. So I'm gonna stick this down here. I'm not gonna use it that often, but I want it easily accessible, so I'm gonna put it in that drawer. Didn't even finish my second cup of coffee today because we were just getting things done. So once I get this counter cleaned off, I'm gonna call Josh in here and I'm gonna see if he wants to try the sourdough bread. I'm really looking forward to it. I was thinking I was gonna put enchiladas in the oven, but I'm gonna be gone all day tomorrow with my mom. So we'll probably have enchiladas tomorrow, and if the bread tastes good, I might make grilled cheese sandwich with some tomato soup. I have some home canned tomato soup. We might have that tonight for dinner with the sourdough. Josh is here, he's gonna do a taste test. He's trying to get a fly out of here. I've had the windows open because I get warm when I get moving in here, and I wanted some fresh air. And it's cooler outside, so it's worth opening a window. Okay, so we've got our bread, some jelly, some butter. This is some butter that had melted, and we're just gonna use that. But we're gonna first taste it without anything, right? You want to taste it without anything? Josh is here.
Yeah, I want to see how sour it is.
So I let it do a bulk ferment for about 12 hours overnight. It's got...
First off, it's beautiful. Whoa, air's coming out of it.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna cut this in half. I think it's a little underproofed. I don't think I proofed it quite long enough, but that doesn't always mean it's gonna not taste good. It's just...
Denser?
Yeah.
Looks pretty good. Nice.
I'm pretty happy with that. It actually doesn't look underproofed. When something's underproofed, usually there's a big dense line at the bottom here. I think that maybe my shaping, I just am not very good at shaping yet. That's why it kind of...
Oh, I'd love to get in there.
It's good texture.
I'd love to just...
It smells good. It doesn't smell too sour. I don't like super, super, super sour. So you want to just taste it first with nothing?
Yeah. Exactly what you expect. Great chewiness.
It's barely sour. Look at how like soft. It's not undercooked, but it's not dry.
It's got great chew. Nice work.
You want to try it with some butter and jam?
Sure.
It's jelly. It's grape jelly. It's a completely different texture than yeast bread. Oh my gosh, this was some chicken salad. We ate all the chicken salad. We don't have any left.
That was some good chicken salad. I think I'm actually good like this.
You don't want any butter?
No, I don't think it needs it.
I'm gonna taste it with some butter. That's good butter. It's like chewy. I want to start using the fresh milled flour. This is just white all-purpose flour because I figured learning one skill at a time would be, oh man, this is good.
Probably good.
I have to feed it like 12 hours before I want to use it. Basically, you have to feed it one day, make the bread the next day, and then bake it the third day.
And then do you have to keep feeding it every week or something, or?
If you keep it in the fridge, you don't have to feed it very often. My goodness, my friend, that sourdough is so good. It's not crazy sour. I don't love sourdough. I don't know if you can hear it, but it is torrential downpour right now, and it is so loud. We have skylights, and it is very loud. So if you hear a loud noise, that's what it is. That sourdough is fantastic. I am no expert. This is my first loaf. I am super happy with how it turned out. I will bring you along for more sourdough stuff. I just wanted to kind of make it once, see if I could get it to work. And we did it as a family, so it's kind of a fun thing we did as a family. And I probably am not gonna pull the sourdough starter out of the fridge until next week after we get through the Thanksgiving with my family. So good. So I am so happy with the before and afters of the ovens, the drawers. My refrigerator is nice and clean, and I'm not going to be doing any big bulking. I think it might be hailing. It's hailing. That's why it's so loud. Any big cooking here, so I'm going to be able to keep my house nice and clean. Loud. Oh, great. I left a blanket out here. Okay, so that's going to be fun. I need to go out there and get that and wash that. It was really sunny out this weekend, but it was cold, so I sat out there this weekend and had my coffee out there, but I left a blanket out there. Such is life. So thank you, friend, for being here as we got this kitchen under control. I am so grateful that I had the time today to do this. It always feels good And sometimes there's times and places when I have time to organize my life. And so today was the day. So thank you for being here. If you want to watch some more videos, I'll pop them here. You can go enjoy between now and the next upload. I hope you're having a fantastic day, and I can't wait to see you next time. Bye, friend.